Deuce, Deuce, just go over your summer for us. You went home. What'd you work on there? Did things go smoothly? And since you've gotten back, what's been your concentration of improvement?
Uh, Honestly, just going home. I took a little bit of time off, obviously, just kind of wanted to, get my body back together, after a long season, even though it was cut short. But pretty much when I went home, it was just making do with whatever I could, honestly, finding a court outside. I mean, I have a little court in my backyard, but so mostly I could only work on, pull-up jumpers, things of that nature. I have an older brother, so played him one-on-one as much as I could just to continue to work on defense and things like that. But pretty much since I've been back, I'd say coming off of ball screens and just reading actions like that, ball screen action, that's such a big part of basketball now. That's probably the main focus I've worked on.
Justin Jackson, go ahead.
Hey, Deuce, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I'm just kind of wondering, I was talking with Jalen earlier about, last year, the way it ended with, NCAA's conference tournaments getting taken away. And then, you get into this year and you probably would have thought back then that all of this COVID stuff would have been gone. But, now it's, obviously it's not. And there's, seasons are still in jeopardy maybe and stuff. I'm just kind of wondering, as you progress from the end of last year into this year, what were you kind of thinking about, this season and dealing with it all and conversations with teammates, concerns and things like that?
I think the biggest, conversations we all had was just to be ready. I think that's the only thing us as players can do is, it's like when you're on the end of, you're not playing as much as you always want to have that next man up mentality, almost always trying to be ready because you never know when your name's going to be called. I think we kind of applied that to this season. I mean, we're talking like this, football is getting canceled and things like that. And we're seeing that. And we're just like, hopefully by the time basketball comes around, it'll be cleared. But obviously we're, still in the mix trying to figure out some scheduling and things like that. So I think it's just to, whatever practice time we do get, whoever we're going to play, is just to prepare for them and, take it day by day.
Go ahead, Carly Nevis.
Hey, Deuce. You've played in this league now, obviously, for a year. Preseason poll comes out today. You guys are picked third. What do you think of that ranking? And do you guys pay attention to that at all?
We're grateful to be, the coaches think highly of us in that ranking. But, honestly, preseason things don't really matter to me, honestly. I don't know how my teammates feel. I don't know if they've seen it yet, but, we'd rather be number one at the end of the season. That's the goal always.
Go back to Greg Hunter. Go ahead, Greg.
To do sometimes last year, Hugs, and not just for you, but was critical of the entire team in terms of ball handling and ball security, turnovers, and that type of thing. You guys better there this year, do you think?
Yeah, I think us learning how to play with each other, understanding each other's games, where we're going to be. We're going to take care of the ball a lot better with not throwing it away. If a guy's supposed to be here, he's going to be there now. I think we've gotten used to that. And obviously, over the summer, working on my ball handling, just being, getting stronger as well, being able to take contact and not lose the ball and not lose control. I think just working on things like that over the summer is going to help a lot this year.
Go ahead, John Antonic.
Kind of coming in here, didn't catch all of it. How are you different than you were last year, and how is this team different than it was last year?
Yeah, I would say just the maturity of us. We had a lot of new guys, we had freshmen that had to play, including myself, Oscar. I think just another year of playing with each other and all of us working on our own individual game with that time off we had. I think we all just matured a lot mentally and physically over that time.
We'll go to Justin Jackson. Go ahead.
Hey, Deuce, I'm just kind of wondering, with the new eligibility rules that got passed this year in terms of everyone kind of getting an extra year, I'm wondering if it's kind of weird for you to think that next year could be your third year in school, but you'd still be a sophomore athletically if you decide to come back. And just kind of wondering, like, what your thoughts are on that, and like in conversations with teammates, getting that extra year. Is it a good thing, a bad thing, or maybe something you guys don't even think about much?
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about it too much other than, our senior guys. I think that's a little bit more of a important to them, or, talking to freshmen, making jokes like, man, he's going to be here for our redshirt freshman is going to be here for 6 years, things like that, making jokes like that. But, for the guys kind of in the middle like me, we haven't really thought about that too much.
We'll go to Kevin Kinder. Go ahead, Kevin.
Deuce, when we hear ball handling, we think first about dribbling. But one of the problems it seemed like this team had some points last year was finishing, off that last bounce, finishing through contact. How do you practice those things in the off season? Is that just weight training, being stronger, holding the ball, protecting it? What goes into that?
I think it's weight training, of course, getting stronger, adding muscle and things like that. But also, you just getting smarter and picking and choosing when to go even in the paint if you have to even go in there. So just rewatching the film and seeing that, I could have pulled up for a jumper here or shot a floater here. It's just getting smarter and really understanding the game a lot more.
We'll go back to Greg. Go ahead.
So, Deuce, last year, the biggest surprise in your first season of college basketball, was there anything that took you by surprise? And in the end, did you think you'd be able to be as successful as you ultimately were?
Yeah, definitely. I came here with the goal to be successful and, show that I was a top player and being able to be a top player in the Big 12. And I think I've showed people that I was, and I'm going to continue to, work hard and keep my head down and, just do whatever I'm supposed to do to help this team win overall.
We'll go to Justin Jackson.
Coach was talking, I think maybe it was last week, about how the depth that you guys have, and not just at one or two positions, but basically at all five, 2 or 3 deep at some positions. Just kind of wondering if you could kind of talk about that, the pluses and minuses of having that great depth, and just how good is the depth on this team at all 5 spots.
I think it makes for some really competitive practices. Everybody's always going after each other because, that's where you can show you're supposed to earn time is in practice. So I think that's definitely a plus because it shows how you really can't take a play off. And I think that was the hardest thing for me, coming from high school. Overall, I'm a lot more athletic, a lot faster and bigger than a lot of kids. And in college, everybody's on the same level. So I think it's just always being on top of your toes, kind of always, thinking about, all right, how can I get better here, and finding an edge just to, beat your opponent.
All right, Deuce, thanks for the time.
Thank you.